Last Wednesday evening, the Lady Indians volleyball team traveled to South Adams to take on the Lady Starfires. The Starfires were able to best the Lady Indians in 3 straight sets. The ladies closed their regular season up last night as they traveled to Lynn to take on the Lady Rebels of Randolph Southern. The Indians blanked the Lady Rebels 3-0, completing a 17-11 season before going into postseason. Congratulations to Coach Guard and the Indian volleyballers on an excellent season. Good luck and finish strong going into the sectionals at Modoc next week.
The boys tennis team traveled to Marion Tuesday to compete in the tennis regionals. The boys fought tough but came up short, losing to LaPel 5-0. Congratulations to this year's tennis team and sectional champions, by the way, on a great season.
Don't forget that the Fellowship of Christian Athletes meets in the library every morning before school at 7:30 on Wednesdays. Come join in the fellowship and enjoy some goodies for breakfast.
I think I've always thought that I'd like to come back to the town that I grew up in. I have a lot of good memories of Union City and just an opportunity to help kids that are from a similar background as me. I was the first in my family to go to college. My parents didn't know much about college. I really didn't know much about college. So to be able to come back and help kids in Union City has always been something I wanted to do. Ever since I was little, my dad would take me to car shows. He always had old cars, different cars, trucks. And he had a Volkswagen when I was really little. I have some good memories of riding around in that Volkswagen. So I used to have a 1950 Chevy, and I got rid of that. And when I started working closer to home, when I worked at Monroe Central, I decided to find a Volkswagen so I could drive it back and forth to school. So my first Volkswagen I still have, it's a 65 VW Beetle, and I drove it last Friday here. And I also have a 68 Campmobile, which is a bus with a pop top. That was a barn find that we found. I got it running. I have a 71 Super Beetle convertible. It's the first year for the Super Beetle. It is a project. It's currently in tubs and crates, and it's all torn apart. And then I have a 72 Standard Beetle, just the pan and the body for a future. I don't know if I'm going to build a Baja Bug or something out of it. So 2 on the road and 2 to-dos. I do some of the work. I mean, the nice thing about having an old car now is if you don't know how to fix it, you can get on YouTube and find and watch. So a lot of the stuff I do to my cars, if I can figure out how to do it, it's obviously a lot cheaper if I can buy the parts. I can get on YouTube and I can figure it out. Obviously, some of the bigger things I'll take to a friend. I've got that convertible right now needs some welding done on it. I'm not a welder, so I'm trying to find a friend that'll do that for me. But it just depends on what the problem is with the car. I was the assistant principal at the junior senior high school there for the last 7 years before I came here. I really enjoy teaching and working with students, but if I was given the opportunity back when I was in high school, I would have liked to gotten involved in like auto mechanics or auto body, metal work. Some of those things that I wish I had the skills now when I'm working on these old cars. It would be really cool. I love watching shows on Velocity Channel where these guys have shops where they're restoring hot rods. I've got some friends that do that kind of work down in the Indianapolis area. So I think if I wasn't teaching, that would be something that I would be interested in getting into. What would I never want to do? I would never want to have to shovel manure all day. I would never want, I'll tell you what, my dad has done some interesting jobs. He's retired, but he still works. If you go into Greenville on 571, he mows that whole big cemetery there, and he also has to dig graves and stuff. I mean, he's 76 years old, and he's digging graves and mowing. That's something that I'm thankful that I don't have to do a manual job every day, like that. So I'm fortunate to be able to do what I do.
Today is Friday, October 8th. Back on this day in history, 3.3 square miles are destroyed, leaving 250 dead and over 100,000 homeless in the Great Chicago Fire in 1871. The microwave oven is patented in 1945 by inventor Percy Spencer. The Beatles' song Yesterday tops the charts in 1965. The song would remain on the top for 13 weeks until Hang On Sloopy by the 60s group The McCoys, featuring 1965 UC graduate Rick Derringer, unseats the Fab Four for the top spot. And in 2001, President George W. Bush announces the establishment of the Office of Homeland Security in the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attack. All this happened on this day in history, October 8th.
Good morning or good afternoon, Northside, Union City Junior Senior High School, maybe Versailles or Winchester. Welcome back. Freaky Fridays coming back at you. Mr. Lynch here in the 6th grade with a brand new class of 6th graders. We have a unique demonstration for you today. It has to do with the center of gravity, keeping something in balance. And what I'm going to show you is almost impossible to do. Takes me a while to work on it, but I think if you practice this at home, you could try this at home as well. It takes 2 forks, and you interlock the forks and stick the prongs together. And then you take a toothpick, and you stick the toothpick down in the center. And now I'm going to attempt to balance the forks on my flask. If I get just the exact center point of gravity, I think we'll be able to get this to work. So let's see if we can get this to go. Takes me a little while. Can you zoom in on this and get a close look at that from the top? You think, how in the world do forks balance on a toothpick and a flask? Well, the point is pretty simple, scientifically speaking. The toothpick is pretty much in the center. And then there's a little bit of weight out in front and a little bit of weight out in back, so it's balanced. And it almost looks like it's doing something totally impossible. You can even play with it a little bit. I'm going to blow on the forks and watch what happens. It's like I can magically make it move or blow it the other way. And it moves back and forth. Next time you want to try a trick like that, just take 2 forks, stick them together, take a toothpick, and by the way, you can use any glass you want, any container. Stick your forks together, stick the toothpick in the middle, and see if you can't get 2 forks to balance like I just did. Now you guys know a little bit more about center of gravity. You guys have a good day.